In this video, I will share my experience of doing Patrick Teahan's 30-day inner child therapy challenge. I will share my 3 main takeaways and just my experience of going through this process. For those of you who did not search for specifically Patrick Teahan's challenge, I will briefly explain what it means. The point is to carry with you a soft stuffed animal, a toy of choice, for 30 days with the idea that it will help you stay more aware when your emotional reactions come up that might be a result of your childhood trauma. Having this toy with you will just help you come out of that emotional state faster, and it will also help you to just stay aware and not fully identify with that emotion, so that you could, as a result of this experience, define your core negative beliefs that stem from the way you were brought up. Patrick gives a list of core negative beliefs. You can get it for free under his video on this topic. The first thing I discovered after I started doing this challenge, practically from the first day, was how often I get emotionally triggered. So on the first day when I carried my toy with me, I got triggered 3 times, and I started in the afternoon. So basically, in the matter of a few hours, I noticed that I got triggered 3 damn times. I will give you an example of the first reaction that I caught, just to show you what it might look like. On that day, I was invited by my friends to join them for dinner, and I'm in Morocco right now. So during that time, it was still Ramadan months, and it means that from 6 p.m. till about 8:30, everything is closed because people are having their first meal of the day. And this was exactly the time when I was going to dinner. So I left the house at about 5:50, 10 minutes before the shops will get closed. And I wanted to get some ice cream for all of us. So I made a pretty spontaneous decision to get this ice cream here where I was, because I realized that by the time I would get a taxi and go to my friend's place, all the shops will be closed already. So I got the ice cream, and then I found myself walking outside. I needed to get a taxi, and it was plus 25 Celsius, so it's pretty hot. I was walking and trying to get a taxi. There were no taxis anywhere for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. I started to feel extremely frustrated, and I didn't have any credit left on my phone, so I couldn't use any of the apps to order a taxi. And at that moment, I caught myself feeling so agitated and anxious and like extremely frustrated. But I understood that the level of my emotional reaction was definitely way stronger than it was called for. Because like, okay, even if this damn ice cream completely melts, it's not a big deal. Like, it's really not that serious. But I was feeling as if it was the end of the world. But because I was carrying the toy with me, I was aware of my reaction. I started asking myself questions. Okay, what core belief am I uncovering here? Like, what is going on here? So I briefly looked through the list, and I realized that the closest one that I felt that resonated with me was I cannot do anything right. So I started feeling like, oh my god, like, why didn't I plan for it? Why didn't I put more credit on my phone to order taxis? Why didn't I go a bit earlier? And all of these questions. But basically it boiled down to me realizing that I surely do have that belief from the way I was brought up. The second takeaway that I got from it is that just being aware, just like literally squeezing the toy, really helped me, and just having it around me really helped me to not identify with that emotion and kind of stay a little bit on top of it. That really helped me to reframe what was going on and snap out of that state way quicker than I would if I weren't carrying that toy with me. I'll tell you one more story just to illustrate how it worked for me and what core belief it uncovered. It was in Turkey when I was walking down one of those small streets with a lot of small shops, and I needed to buy a gift for a child of my friend. I saw a seller who sells little natural stones that looked really pretty, and I remembered how much I loved just tiny, gemstones as a child. So I decided to get him a few gemstones, and when I came to the shop, I quickly picked whatever I wanted, but I could not pay with my card, and I had to go to ATM to take out some cash and it was already evening. The seller was super kind. He was very, very nice, and he asked me a few questions, and then he just told me, just take it, and you can pay later. Right now, just take the stones and go and celebrate. And he even gave me a little bracelet for the child as well. I thanked him, I took the presents, and I walked away from that shop. But as soon as I took 5 steps, I just found myself crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying. It touched me so much. Like, just, that trust from that guy, and I guess just like random kindness somehow touched me like incredibly strongly. Like, I couldn't stop crying for the next 10 minutes, I think. Looking back at it now, after doing this challenge, I realized that the core belief that it uncovered was that I do not deserve any kindness. And even now, as I say it, I get emotional because it's really resonating with me. So the third takeaway that I got out of this challenge was that the core beliefs that I discovered were not the core beliefs that I thought I'd have. So before I started this challenge, I read through the list and I thought, okay, I would have like this and this and this, because I was kind of consciously aware that these are probably my pain points. But after completing it, I discovered a few of them that I would never suspect that I have. If you are on this journey, I highly recommend you do this challenge, because unless you do it, you will never really understand what's going on with you.